We just got our first look at the costumes for the announced cast of Avengers Doomsday through some crew merch. It shows a grid of cartoon art of our characters in new costumes, starting with Doctor Doom. This seems to line up with the suit that was revealed a few weeks ago at a Disney Expo due to the silver cape class, where traditionally Doom has gold. I've actually made a full video breaking down his costume, but overall I like it. Then we have Thor. He gets to second square. Clearly he's going to be a key player, and rightly so considering he's the only original Avenger in this cast. Firstly, this is back to short-haired Thor. This feels like a deliberate choice to bring Thor back to a version that fans enjoyed from Ragnarok and Infinity War. Also, he seems to have gold discs on his armor. Normally these are silver, and that's funny because it seems to have swapped colors with Doom's. On to Captain America, it's hard to tell the costume here, but it seems closer to the Brave New World blue suit than the white costume that we've seen before. And then Ant-Man's costumes tend to have not much variation, so it seems similar costume to usual. Interesting that these are the first 3 heroes, and I assume make up the main characters of the Avengers team. The next column is the Fantastic Four. Seems like they're wearing their normal costumes, but with jackets over the top. This adds even more white to their costumes. Wearing jackets isn't something we traditionally see for this team in the comics. I wonder if it represents a transition out of the 60s era for this team. You typically associate leather jackets more with the 50s with the greasers, or the 70s with the rise of the punk era. Also, having them in an early column, again, a good sign that they will be important players in this film. Then Bucky wearing his costume from the Thunderbolts post-credit scene that we knew was filmed for Doomsday, and then Shuri back in a gold Black Panther suit. It seems to feature a similar shape on the torso, so it's a very similar suit to the one in Wakanda Forever. Then Shang-Chi, presumably on the main Avengers team, although not in the same column, a similar collar to his past suit, but other than that, you just can't tell. Loki is situated between the Avengers, New Avengers, and Wakanda. I assumed he would be his own entity in this film, which is interesting where he's been positioned. Also, his horns seem shorter and gold again, rather than the large black horns that we saw in the series finale. Then 2 more members of the Thunderbolts / New Avengers, Yelena and then Red Guardian. He is the only costume that we didn't see in the post-credits, and it does look slightly different from his Thunderbolts costume, which now has more white around the neck. Then M'Baku, it's hard to tell what this costume is. It looks gold and regal, and that makes sense as he now may be the ruler of Wakanda following the last movie. Then Namor, clearly a different costume. This looks like his comic look with a high raised collar and blue stripe. Then what appears to be Magneto cut off by the label in a very red looking costume, and then Professor X, who is not in his usual suit and tie. Then we see Gambit looking very similar to Deadpool and Wolverine. Now a big one, Mystique. Traditionally this version wears no clothes, but here she is wearing white, more like her comic look. Then Beast again blocked, but you'd assume a similar design to the Marvels, although no lab coat here. His hair looks very X-Men animated series. Probably the biggest reveal, Cyclops in the classic Jim Lee 90s costume. Can't wait to see him in the classic blue and yellow for the first time. Though it does make me wonder, getting the classic X-Men costume here, what will the actual MCU X-Men use? Then Nightcrawler, his suit seems to be more traditional and red than usual, and his hair more voluminous like the comics. Then US Agent and Ghost in their post-credit suits, and then the new Falcon, hard to tell his costume here, but it seems similar. And then the Sentry, confirming he's back in the suit with blonde hair. And then the final square, Franklin Richards. Interesting, he gets his own square. Now maybe it's purely because they had 27 heroes, and for a grid of 28 they had a spare square and they didn't want to reveal anyone else, or maybe it's because he has a major role here. Of course, this only shows the 27 cast members plus Franklin, who were already confirmed in the chair reveal earlier this year, but there have been constantly rumors that more people will be confirmed eventually, but if so, they're still being hidden.